you down with OTC? Are you down with OTC? OTC. Are you down with OTC? Are you down with OTC? OTC. Are you down with OTC? Down with OTC. Down with OTC.
Oh, welcome. Are you down with OTC? That is the question. Welcome to On the Chain. This is Jeff here with co-host Chip. There he is right over there. Welcome, Chip. Good to see you on once again this evening. Tonight, we are going to get into the nitty-gritty of this conversation on Ripple XRP. Did you know that XRP is now hovering at around 634% gains year to date? So right now, the big emphasis, the big focus is that investors are actually not focused on this court case, but they're focused on the next major milestone for XRP. We see a divergence, XRP going to $2, $3, maybe even $5. That's the emphasis. That's what we want to talk about. Well, that and a whole bunch more. Ready to go?
Let's do this.
Let's go.
Welcome to On the Chain with Jeff and Chip.
Welcome to On the Chain. Well, you know, it's been an interesting day. So I woke up at like 3 a.m. Your only Twitch viewer. Thank you, one and only Twitch viewer. You are beautiful. Welcome to all the beautiful OTC family members here tonight. I really want to say that we're in for quite the exciting week. You know, I know that Oz Crypto said, hey, you know, XRP broke $2 Australian. I'm like, it will soon break $2 USD. And then he added, right. And then £2.
Sweet.
See what I'm saying? So it's fantastic, Jeff. It really is.
Rob XRP, start the stream off well with a super chat and a good cup of Death Wish coffee.
Oh.
Good any time of the day.
Way to go, Rob XRP. Death Wish.
Nice.
I almost
Good
bought
job.
one. You know, what do they sell that? I was shocked. You know, they actually had it at Publix, which is odd.
Target. And they
And
actually have it at Target.
Yeah,
Ooh,
Target
go
too.
figure. I never knew. I saw it there one day.
As we say, Target.
Target.
Target with the
Target. We got Jan from Norway.
Jan, what's up, Jan? Jan. I'm not sure how you say that, but anyway, it's what up, XRP Verino. Yeah,
give a shout out where you guys are from. That'd be awesome. See, we got people that come in from all over the world. So it is awesome.
I got up and it started pumping. Awesome. I was like, what? Oh my gosh, this is great. And then Scott from the XRP Army goes, Chip, you ever sleep? And I was like, dude, I just happened to wake up, grab my phone and make a comment. So what's up, Venture? Good to see you, man. 8 a.m. in the Philippines. Good morning, Leslie.
Good morning, Leslie. Welcome to the morning.
Look, it's 2:20 in Canada, boss. Oh, sorry.
This keeps jumping. There we go. XRP Verino is wanting to know when the coffee giveaway is. We're going to do a coffee giveaway. We got to do a coffee giveaway. It'd be awesome. We got to get a coffee sponsor. Then we do a coffee giveaway.
Yeah, how come we don't have a coffee sponsor, Jeff? That's something we should definitely have.
We're gonna get one. We're gonna get one of these days.
I can see Death Wish. You know, it's kind of cool. Plugging in.
Death Wish is cool. I like it. Yeah, I like that idea.
Plug it in the car because we have a lot of coffee drinkers here too. So I mean, why not, man? 1 cup limit. John Doe says 1 cup limit. Not messing around. The people love coffee.
Cut off. That's it.
Got the Bay Area in here. XRP Army. Let's go, Average Mo Gaming.
Let's go. All right. So, man, what do you got over here? You got this. You got this thing fired up, ready to be posted. What do you got? What do you got for us?
Well, I had a couple things here, but I wanted to. I think we should lead with this one just because I think it's just exciting. So today I watched a little bit.
Got a nice graphic.
Of the Ripple X. Yeah, of the Ripple X stream today with Matt Hamilton. It was really cool. So they had Jack Liu on there. He's the CEO of OneChain. They had, I'm not going to be able to say his name, but they had another fellow on there that was very knowledgeable, very techie. And when you see a headline like this is cool. XRP use cases to explode with DeFi crypto integration, says the OneChain CEO, and that's none other than founder Jack Liu. Wow, he's got a really amazing personality. And I think tomorrow he's getting interviewed Wednesday by Crypto Eddie. I don't know if it'll be on her Wednesday, which means I'm not exactly sure when that's going to air. Maybe it was today. I don't know. Maybe I missed it because it's Wednesday there already. So anyway, we're going to get a nice interview. She always does amazing interviews. But it just was great. We talked about this a little bit last night, but he went into a little bit more, a little bit demoing on how to send your XRP. I just noticed it's like full screen. So let's do this. Yeah. How to send your XRP. Yeah, I was like, where are we?
Just zoom in a little bit so we can see the
magic.
Zoom in on the text.
And he was talking about the WAN swap, I believe it's called, and a couple other WAN swap, WanLend, which is the yield farming DeFi app. Went into that a little bit, showed a little bit. I couldn't stay for the whole thing, but it says XRP holders can now engage with DeFi apps such as WanSwap, WanLand, WanFarm, and they showed some other thing he put up there. Yeah, well, we're gonna get into that Iconopon. Don't worry about that. That's queued up. That's Jeff and I we gotta get a little bit like warmed up before we start getting into those tweets.
Getting into the good stuff. Can you zoom in a little bit? I'm trying to zoom in the screen and
sorry, man. Sorry. Let me see like that. There you go. Right
there you go. See?
Yeah.
Perfect.
So the fact that we can now engage in them, and he started going into a little bit of it. And again, Matt Hamilton is really fantastic at putting the right questions. He actually reads the questions in there and he's like, hey, what about this? What about this? And sometimes Jeff and I reach him. Hey, Doc, what's going on? Doc Kellum, Matt D, 3 Cups keeps my synapses firing. Yeah, a lot of things firing at that point, right? So, and then of course, there were a lot of people that were of the opinion. You remember last night we talked a little bit about how Flair was doing a beatdown, just being very aggressive towards Matt and some other people on the tweet storm last night. And Matt is so pro. He goes, yeah, it got a little salty. I was like, salty? They pretty much assaulted you in the backyard with in an alley with the club. By the way, Jeff, that's a really smart, amazing looking shirt you're wearing. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
You like this shirt? How cool is it? It says XRP, but it's even better than that. You know why? Because when you actually look at the shirt,
Can't be 100% sure,
like,
but I think it's magic.
man, I think it's magic. Man, what is up with that? This shirt is awesome. Man, the quality is great. This is one of the very first items of merch on the chain merch store. So we got our first order and it actually came yesterday, and I've got some more things on the way, but I wanted to get this one first, test out the quality, and it's really outstanding, you know. And then if you spin around, you can actually see on the back, get a little bit of an on the chain logo on the back.
Go ahead and do it again so we can get a full screen.
Check that out. Can't be 100% sure, but I think it's magic. And then you get
right there, man. See that little on the chain, on the chain action.
How cool is that? That's pretty sweet. It is awesome.
Hells to the How do you buy? Well, Antonio is asking all the right questions.
That's right.
He's asking all the right questions. Well,
the question is, how do you buy that thing? Where do you get it from? What's our link to it?
I'm gonna put it up there right now, Jeff. You simply go right here, Antonio. Bam! There's a whole bunch, a whole merch store there.
There you go. And how about this one right there?
On the chain.shop.
Oh, what is that? Crypto Army. We need a Crypto Army shirt.
Crypto Army. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. But I'm like Digital Army or something like that. I mean, the whole crypto thing is like kind of.
How do you buy it? Right there on the chain.shop. On the chain.shop. That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, right there on the chain.shop, and that's it. So you go there, and it's the merch shop, and
eventually we'll make sure we get active over here on the YouTube also. You got to do that.
Yeah, we'll connect it so that if you're on the you see when you're like looking at someone's YouTube channel and like there's the shirts there, be able to click right over there. So that'd be pretty cool. And then we're adding another feature next week too. So look at this, Norseman. It's like I wear it to the gym. That sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, it's a great idea.
Money, that's kind of what it is. Kind of like internet, but it's more like digital money. But then the word money is weird too. Hey guys, if it's your first time here, like, subscribe, click that notification bell. That way you're notified. The reason we talk about this because it really does help the channel. If you guys want to help us, subscribe. You don't have to tune in every night, but just tune in most nights because we have a good time here, right? So thank you for that, Connie. Connie, thank you for the reminder. Really appreciate that.
And most people go without watching TV now. The whole TV thing is like kind of old school. So people tune into the YouTube, check out the OTC, get the on the chain, and all that other good stuff. And you got something. You got something other queued up over there. You got something.
Yeah, I got something queued up here. Well, this is good because the court denied the SECs. We already know about this, but I'd like to see a story like this on CoinDesk, right? Because CoinDesk
denied
notoriously, and it's on Yahoo Finance, but it's from CoinDesk, and just getting some decent news. Court denies SEC seeking years of financial records from Ripple execs. The judge granted a motion. Let me just try to get this bigger here. Yeah. It appears so they wanted to get all this back data, like we need to know what your Netflix schedule looks like. We gotta know if you went on any cool vacations or whatever. So Judge Sarah Netburn, who is really mighty smart, filed on Friday, shows the SEC's request for 8 years of financial data belonging to Ripple's Garlinghouse and Larson denied. It's like a giant stamp. Denied. They ought to do it right on Tenero's head. And so and the courts quashed the request by the securities regulator last month, labeling the request as wholly inappropriate overreach, which pretty much nails it. Development means Ripple scored a second victory. I wouldn't really call them victories, Jeff. I mean, I guess so, right? But again, it is an overreach. It's like, well, we want to have this. And if you're going into any kind of court case, you ask for the sun, the moon, the stars. They're like, well, we'll give you the sun. Okay, we'll settle for that. So you ask for everything and they scale it back or they give you nothing. I mean, we knew about how they were going to defend this case and how they were going to be aggressive with it. But Netburn said the SEC's request for personal financial records outside of the ones belonging to transactions. Now, if you remember, go back to the original hearing, she's like, well, why do you need that? They're like, well, we need to know where the money's coming from. Well, why do you need that? Well, you have the approximate dates and the transactions.
Dude, it's perfect. Irrelevant, and disproportional to the needs of the case. To me, that's everything. But we talked about that with John Deaton. We talked about that before. As every time we analyze it, we look at everything they put into that case. It was just they were just throwing anything they possibly could, and they were obviously in their methodology. They were really trying to undermine the characters, of the individuals in charge of Ripple. The judge wasn't buying it. The judge is throwing it out. And I love that, man. Just irrelevant and just not needed. Just so out of whack, disproportional to the needs of the case, man. That's awesome. It's fantastic when you see something like that. And
It really
that's
is.
SEC overreach. Once again, overreach. It's just, man, when are they going to be on the side of the investors?
Well, I have to tell you, if you go look on, like I like to use CoinGecko on my phone. I like check prices, right? We're all checking prices. We all have a favorite one. CoinMarketCap, I find to be a little bit off sometimes, either too low, too high. It's just seems a little bit weird. But I will say that CoinGecko is a little slow on the take. It's always like maybe a 1 or 2 pennies behind, like a points. Like it'll be at 80 and it'll be like 83 somewhere else. But on the very top of it, when you click into the actual, and you click on XRP, it says at the very top, it says the SEC has charged Ripple and blah, blah, blah. They haven't charged them. They filed a complaint that there's no charging. It's like charge somebody with, it's like it's not really the appropriate language, but hey, what are you going to do? That's kind of how these things go. And look, so somebody brought up I'm trying to find it in here. Someone asked if we accept crypto payments. Look, with the vendor we're using, they don't. And so unfortunately, we'd love to be able to do that. It'd actually be pretty easy. They could basically bring in one API and they'd be able to do it. But unfortunately,
eventually we're working on a website. We built out the website. There's going to be a lot of interesting, intricate things on the website, but that takes a little bit of time. Chip found the most amazing platform for it. So we're going to start that process. But hey, Chip, I got to bring this up here. Money being raised for DeFi. We were talking about the bank in Thailand yesterday. Well, it seems to keep expanding because Consensus has now raised $65 million from JP Morgan, MasterCard, and UBS to build infrastructure for DeFi. Now, tell me that DeFi is just some passing fad when you've got $65 million being pumped into it by JP Morgan, MasterCard, and UBS. The other thing that we can see here is that of all three of those entities, one of the things that a lot of people say is, what stops the JP Morgan or MasterCard or UBS or Visa or Amex from building their own? And here is a perfect example. They don't build their own. They invest in it. They allow someone else that's a lot smarter than they are, that is not in their brick and mortar type industry, and they're just going to buy it through acquisition, or they're going to pump money in it through VC or through investment. And man, it's big. Look here, Consensus, a key player in crypto and a major proponent of the Ethereum blockchain, has raised $65 million funding round from JP Morgan, MasterCard, and UBS. Man, it's just so amazing. They obviously got some others in there like Protocol Labs, the Maker Foundation, Fenbushi, the LAO, Alameda Research, more investors. They kind of bury all these other investors that put up as well, but they highlight 3 key players in the brick and mortar financial space, man. To me, this is massive, massive news on the heels of what we're already been talking about. Plus, guess what tomorrow is? Coinbase. So you factor this in with that. Man, what do you think, man? It's like we're into like a whole new realm.
Well, I just think it's gonna pretty much cause a lot of excitement. People start looking at what is this Coinbase thing, and especially in the stock market, people have their 401ks there. There's a lot of ancillary type of investments. So when people see like, what is this thing that's blowing up, and it probably will blow up. I mean, I don't know exactly what it's going to do. We think it's supposed to open at 250. I think it's going to open more like 350 or 400. We'll see if I was right or not. But based on that, it's gonna be up there, and it'll be interesting. It'll probably ride pretty high, kind of scale back down again, and then just keep ticking up. So I mean, they're going to raise over 1.5 or 1.7 billion dollars. That's insane, man. Really incredible.
Massive. Really is massive. I think it's going to be probably around $400 or $500 on open, maybe 600. Well, we'll see.
Yeah, so it's
Exciting
gonna
stuff.
go, man. And people are gonna set some, some limit orders, and they're probably gonna be left in the cold. You're probably gonna try to jump on a market order because, and it'll probably like pump up so fast you won't be able to get it fast enough, So
Dude, that happened with Roblox when we were buying Roblox.
happened
We
to my
went in
too.
and Roblox didn't go live until I think it was like 1:05 p.m. and we're waiting all day long, and it goes live, and it went so quick. It's like you're trying to put your order in, and it just kept going up. You get your order in, and then it rose, drop back down, and now it's back up way back up again. It's awesome.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about this because this is right in the. Sorry, I'm opening some pages. So
you opened that. We got XRP Speedboat with the 1111. I love the 1111 number. That's such an amazing number. XRP Presto. It's liquidity magic.
Whoa.
Go.
Liquidity magic. Hang on a second.
XRP. How about just XRP liquidity magic?
I might be smelling another shirt there. Hang on.
I think so.
Smells like victory, Jeff. Holy cow.
I like that shirt. I'm liking it.
Presto. It's liquidity, XRP liquidity magic. I like that a lot. I'm smelling another shirt.
I'm looking for our little merch thing, and here we go.
Stick it in our little thing there. It's really great.
Yeah, what was it? XRP. What is it? Presto.
Presto. It's liquidity magic.
It's liquidity magic.
It just smells like victory right there. Like a lot of great things. On the heels of what you were just talking about, thank you for that. Thank you for that speedboat, XRP speedboat.
Sweet.
He's gone. And then there's the wooden boat rowing behind him. Doing the rows, row, pull, all like those movies where they do all that stuff. But
unless he's got one of those little kayaks with an engine on it, he's like.
So big fan of Camilla Russo. She was a journalist. She started something called The Defiant, all about DeFi, The Defiant, right?
Yeah, nice.
And so she was talking about the transition from journalist to entrepreneur has been pretty surreal and so hard and so life consuming, but the best decision in my professional life. Hey, wouldn't it be nice? So this is from The Defiant, which the publication she runs. Wouldn't it be nice to have a platform that combines the Defiant news content you know and love with all the DeFi data and metrics a DeFier could ask for? Well, we just closed on a 1.4 million pre-seed round from amazing investor and angels, funding secured. And then she says her journey started back in 2010 at the end of her Bloomberg News internship. So 11 years ago, about 10 years ago, roughly, she was an intern at Bloomberg. Now she's writing this publication. Not many of the people know this, but I wasn't supposed to get hired. I wasn't one of the selected interns. So, which turned out to be a great thing. How many times did something like that look bad, but ended up, what are you laughing at? Someone's making you laugh in the chat. I can see that.
That's awesome, man. I love it. No, I love that story. You're not supposed to get hired. Don't get hired. Go on and start your own thing. Very awesome.
Yeah. So this is the whole story right here. I mean, look, that's a nice to do almost 1.5 million pre-seed round. That's a nice round. And so they'll start building it, and then they'll start adding to it. And that's going to become a major player in the space. And by the way, the newsletter that she puts out is fantastic. I'm a big fan of my trackpad got a little bit crazy there. So,
and by the way, El Hoco set up a super sticker.
Thank you very much.
Unfortunately, this platform doesn't bring in the super stickers. Everybody else gets to enjoy the super sticker. We don't get to enjoy it over here. But thank you very much for that support. I'm going to open up on the YouTube, and we'll see it over here on the YouTube on the other side. But appreciate that. And there's some good stuff here. Let's see. There was something else. Where'd it go? I kind of got buried.
Throw this up here, but this is the Defiant right here, and you can go to it's just the defiant.io, and it's just all kinds of cool stuff. What's going on there? A lot of good, really solid. You can buy
Coinbase on Mirror Protocol, by the way, as a wrapped asset starting tomorrow. Sweet.
Wrapped asset, interesting. Yeah. So anyway, lots of good stuff in here, man. It's very well done. They have a free version and a pay version of this. So you can get the free version of the newsletter and some of the really juicy stuff you don't get. But if you really want to keep up on DeFi, highly recommend the defiant.io, which I will drop this in here. If you guys want to, actually, is there a way to see? The funny thing is she's using Substack, Jeff.
Yep.
And they're taking a lot of her profits. So I suspect she'll probably switch there too. But I'll drop that in there if you guys want to check out a really cool pub. It's a very good one. Hey, what's going on, Jackie?
Jackie, do a shirt that says, I was into crypto before crypto was cool.
That's a good one, too.
It's another good one. Write that one down.
Maybe we'll say badass.
Yeah, we got a whole bunch of them. Got Zeus. Another one, XRP, big logo in the middle, text saying, by the time you finish reading this, XRP settled over 1,500 transactions.
Boom.
Boom.
Yeah, if we can like bring that down a little bit, I like it. I like the idea. So having a whole bunch of cool sayings about the whole XRP sort of world, it's fantastic. I mean, we definitely should get into that. So
Nice.
I wanted to share this, Jeff. Sometimes
wait, before you get into that, let me say something.
Go ahead. What do you got?
Let me bring something up here real quick.
Jeff's
kind
about
of
to go
in line. No, we're not going to go on a rant. No rant. This is just kind of in line with big companies that are starting to put some of their portfolio, their balance sheet into the digital asset space. Time Magazine. I didn't even know this was still around, but apparently Time Magazine is still a thing. But so Legacy, I love that too. What is this publication? Oh, Bitcoin Magazine. Legacy Media Institution, Time Magazine, will be paid for a cryptocurrency video project in Bitcoin and hold the asset on its balance sheet. I think that's kind of cool. But it says here the CEO of digital currency investment firm Grayscale, Michael Sonnenschein, has announced a partnership with Time Magazine to produce a video series about crypto, with the publication being paid in Bitcoin and choosing to hold BTC on its balance sheet. Well, I think it's awesome that they're going to hold it. They got something. Their payment is that they're paying for the video. They're participating in it. They're not a Michael Saylor.
No,
they're not an Elon Musk. They're not getting like the big $1 billion, put into there. But hey, at least it's something. I mean, maybe that whatever Bitcoin they get's what's going to keep them afloat for the next 10 years. Not really sure, but I saw this, and honestly, I really thought Time Magazine was gone. I really didn't think it was.
So Jeff, you're telling me you don't have a subscription to it, is what you're telling me.
Oh no, unfortunately. You know what I mean? Back in the day, they were actually something. I think they used to do like big headline things, and I remember they had like the Yasser Arafat on the cover and all that stuff.
They've been around. I mean, they've been more. I mean, I think they're still at the newsstands. Who knows anymore?
Dude, I don't know, but you know who they haven't had on?
Come on, man, Berserker.
Berserker. Of course not. So I wanted to get into this. You remember Rosalind Layton, PhD? She wrote that scorching article in Forbes, just totally ripping the SEC from limb, and she took the arms off, and then she beat him across the head, and then she ripped the legs off. I mean, she just went to town on him. Well, this is kind of a cool thing. I saw her tweeting, and she said, it's great to see the Senate banking moving forward on Gary Gensler's nomination to the SEC. Here are the 5 things to get right on cryptocurrency. And of course, he did this little podcast thing. Of course, Congressman Patrick McHenry. Then you had Crypto Enforcer Mom, whatever her name is, something like that.
Yeah, Patrick McHenry. He's been involved. He's been on some of the bills.
Yeah, bow tie guys, what we like to call them.
Yeah,
bow tie guys. So it's all good. So she did this thing. So she wrote this 5 New Year's resolutions for cryptocurrency. So she's actually checked one of them off, right? So she said, which I like this because, first of all, number 1, the Senate should confirm an SEC chair who's open or at least neutral to cryptocurrency and financial innovation. Check, we think. Nice. Anyway, we're not 100% sure, but that has to be something there, right? So she talks about Jay Clayton and no secret for his animus for crypto and blah, blah, blah. And so,
but you know what, man? But to be fair, I mean, she's, bringing that one up about Jay Clayton and animus for lawsuits. He did file against Ripple, but I seem to think, and we kind of recognize that Library was recently pursued by the SEC. And the last I looked, Jay Clayton was no longer there. The SEC seems to be operating on its own reconnaissance.
Wow, astute observation. You're absolutely right about that. I didn't actually put that together, but the other one was stop the turf wars between the financial regulatory agencies.
Oh, there we go.
This is a good one. Regulation is not an unambiguous good. The U.S. has accumulated over a century of financial regulation, spawned almost a dozen federal finance. What she's basically trying to say here, Jeff, is this all needs to be trimmed down. You need to start paring it down because the problem is there's so many. There's the FT something with more letters. FTSC, you've got the SEC, you've got
ABCDEFG,
you got justice.gov and all these other ones, in there.
but highlight that one statement that she posts up there is really key, right at the top of that paragraph. Regulation is not an unambiguous good. I think that statement is really important because you got to really understand, everybody looks at it, as from a regulatory perspective, many times it's crushing. And many, they have not called for regulation. They've called for regulatory clarity to at least have some rules of the road. You need some operating norm. And this is why the SEC is run amok, is because there is no operating norm. And I think that's kind of what she's getting at also. I think it's really key. Look at that. I'll go to that next sentence, that indeed, the layers of regulation.
Oh, yeah, right there. Layers of regulation and labyrinth of federal offices and departments may have worsened the whole financial environment for consumer and innovators. She's absolutely right. And this is one of the things that I think the last administration got right. They cut 2 regulations. You want to bring a new regulation, get rid of 2. And that's kind of how it is in our house. It's like if I want to bring something in, my wife says, you got to get rid of something. But I'm like a hoarder. I'm like, no. I have this box from 12 years ago that I might need to put the original thing back in and do something with. She's like, no.
Crazy.
And I'm like, but it fits I go, but it's got the packaging that it fits perfect on, and you stick it back in the box. And
so I do that all the time. It's the most insane thing. You get a new computer or something, and where does it go? It goes up on the shelf. I'm like, maybe one day I'm going to need to put it back in there. In the back of your mind, maybe you're thinking about, I'm going to sell it on eBay or something like that, right? And then, man, a couple weeks ago, I went through here. I had the an iRobot vacuum thing. I had the iScuba thing. I was like, dude, we've had this vacuum for 4 years already. I think it's time to get rid of the box. An old laptop box I don't even have anymore.
But Jeff, the problem with that,
disposed of it.
it's 2 weeks. If you notice, it's always 2 weeks. If you don't need it in 2 weeks, you'll never need it. But if you throw something away, there's always that weird 2 week. Like, oh, wait a minute. Well, I had that thing for 15 years and I don't know why I got rid of it. It's like if you make it past that 2 week window, you're home free. You're like, throw it all away, whatever.
Dude, that happened to me. Do you have an electronics bin?
I have everything, Jeff. Dude, I got cabinets in my office. You see back there over there by the shelves? Right next to that, there's more shelves, and you pull drawers out, and it's just loaded with cables of stuff I don't even use anymore. I don't even know what I'm doing with it at all. Who knows? But then number 3, Congress should work in a bipartisan fashion to adopt a rational, common sense approach to cryptocurrency. And I should be walking on Mars right now because that's the likelihood of that happening, Jeff. It's like, yeah, that should be one of the things we should talk about. Good luck on that. But, just the fact there's a common sense, rational. I mean, you're putting all these words that are like oxymorons, Congress and common sense. No, one of the 2 of these things don't look right together.
No, that's good. I like that. Yeah, Congress should work in a bipartisan fashion. Man, I was listening to a podcast the other day about that, and they were talking about, this administration, they keep talking about bipartisan, but they don't do it. However, a lot of times behind the scenes, you do have bipartisan initiatives, regardless of which administration is there. And we saw it. We saw with the Token Taxonomy Act, for the past how many years, we saw Warren Davidson and Darren Soto getting together multiple times to try to pass the Token Taxonomy Act. But it's the rest of them out there that are, they got their heads buried in the sand.
Congressman Patrick McHenry explained how for the last 15 years of his job has been to stop the adoption of knee-jerk laws that would have killed cryptocurrency in the cradle or, at the birth of the crypto. I think he's got the 15 years. Oh, that's a little bit pushing
15 years? Dude,
like
man,
10 years.
Maybe he's
crazy.
Satoshi. Maybe he's Satoshi.
He's like
Patrick Satoshi McHenry.
He's like, well, for the last 15 years, I've been working on this thing forever. And it's like, okay, maybe it's been 15 years. But the knee-jerk reaction, it's like, crypto, what is it? It's nefarious. We got to put an end to it. And he's like running around trying to figure out how to do all the
purposes.
All the nefarious. And what are we going to do? Now, check this one out. Look at this one. Look at number 4. The SEC should withdraw its lawsuit against Ripple. Just hours before he left the building. We know all that stuff. After 7 years. So after 7 years, transacting as a security, not a currency, and thus seeks to punish the company for failing to register to bar its founder and executive from participating in the crypto market. Such a question could have been answered with a notice, a comment, rather than a lawsuit. However, what's coming out of it for us is going to be like that magic presto, right? Liquidity. It's going to turn into, because it was pretty much the only way to get there. And so she just nailed these.
That's where, Chip, I think I disagree with the statement that with the lack of regulatory clarity, I don't think that the SEC could have a comment or a conversation with Ripple and solve things. I think that the SEC, regardless who is there up until this point, even with Gensler there, it's still run amok. I still think they might be a little bit different. They might not be a little bit different. We don't know. But in the absence of regulatory clarity, they have no roadmap. They have no way to properly regulate law, because how are you going to regulate a law that doesn't exist?
I don't know.
It's
You're commenting on something that doesn't have any clarity. Look at this. I want to answer this question real quick. Does Biden even know what crypto is? No. And so the next thing,
the Crypto Keeper.
Yeah, there you go. So here we go. So Congress should mitigate China's growing threat on digital assets.
Oh, yes.
Now, if they're paying attention, this is what they would put at least a little bit of their time, 20% of their week. I mean, when they're actually working, right? And again, Peter Thiel is the one called a lot of attention to this, got a lot of news. And as a key part of China's concerted efforts, its central bank's already begun distributing digital yuan to be used at thousands of retailers, with nearly a fifth of residents in Shenzhen City testing the technology. So what are they doing? They're freaking light years ahead. Yeah, Mel G nails it right there. Well, that's not it.
Celery.
Sleep at the wheel. Celery.
Celery is like cassettes. Celery.
Mel G nails it. Beats celery. You're right. Almost anything beats celery. But I don't know where. I thought you had done something else. What was that? What's this one? Chip sounds like Harvey Specter of Suits. I knew it. I heard that. Okay.
Oh, wait a minute. The quick intermission. Apex. FY Brian Armstrong, CEO of Coinbase, is asking for questions to be asked during his live interview tomorrow.
Oh, boy.
Sounds like a great time to put XRP back on the map.
Don't do it, people. Do not do it. Stop it with the relist stuff. Trust me. Stop this madness.
The XRP.
Anybody makes a comment.
XRP.
Armstrong's trying to.
We need to make a shirt that says relist XRP.
Well, Armstrong's trying to do his thing. He's having the biggest day possible, and you're going to have the whole idiots of life going there. Relist. Can you not buy it somewhere? Stop the madness. All right. Listen, these companies are mitigating their risk. It's all going to get relisted. Don't worry about it. When it gets relisted, it'll be $6 or $7.
No, Jack Johnson.
Jack Johnson's down with the OTC. So I like. She's one of my favorite writers, Rosalind Layton. She's phenomenal.
So she's awesome. But check this out. So right on point with what that article and all that was all about. I think this is perfect. This is like spot on. Check this out. Less illicit activity on Bitcoin than traditional banking, a former CIA director has said. Michael Morrell, the former acting director of CIA, published an independent paper commissioned by Crypto Council for Innovation, refuting the long-told narrative about Bitcoin and crypto used in illicit activity. In his research, he found that the fear-mongering around crypto propagated by government officials like Treasury Secretary Yellen does not hold any ground. I like the way this article thinks.
I love it, man. Finally,
whether he said that or not, but
in fact,
contrary to what these government officials warn people, the use of Bitcoin for illicit activity has been on a continuous decline. Morrow, in an interview with Forbes, said, "Oh, here we go, just the opposite. That the Bitcoin and crypto weren't rife with illicit activity. In fact, there was probably less illicit activity in the Bitcoin ecosystem than there was in traditional banking." The reason why we know that is because we've talked about it here. Bank after bank after bank has been held, tied up, caught up. Even Deutsche Bank got caught up in money laundering and bribery and all sorts of things. So, hey, you know what? We're talking about billions and billions of dollars, and that's been going on for eons. So, hey, at least there's a little bit of a shout out that things are moving in the right direction here.
I want to put something up here, Jeff. Just something totally silly, but sometimes in life we have to remember. I think it is, but sometimes we have to remember stuff like this. For example, this is Nick Chiappini. He says, like whenever I mess up an experiment, I just think of what a pigeon considers a successful nest. So it's like, It gives you a little peace of mind there. You know, it's like, well, all right, so I guess I should take myself so seriously. But I always like stuff like that. Little things like kind of make you laugh a little bit. And there was something else too that I wanted to.
Yeah, it's like the ducks behind my house. We used to have this big bush behind our house, and the duck would come and make a nest. You like plant all of his eggs in this hole. They spent all this time with it. And then, one time there were like 12 little ducks that hatched and they ran off into their thing. Then we removed the bush. But this duck still came to that exact spot the following time and put all of its eggs there.
Jeff.
And it had all of its eggs in this one spot. And I'm watching them. I'm like, man, your eggs are going to bake in the sun over there. And that's kind of what happened. Some of the eggs baked. Some of them hatched. Some of them got eaten. I used to go outside. I don't know what eats them, snakes or these lizards. I'd go outside and they'd be like shells broken up and someone obviously ate them.
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
Plant his eggs. That's what I always say because they're like planting their eggs.
Plant that egg and grow a chicken. Man, you totally took away. Jeff, it wasn't him.
It wasn't who?
Pigeon's nest looks like the SEC case.
That's exactly what
that's
it looks like.
Right on, spot on. Oh God, that's good. It looks exactly like it, thin and weak. God. Look at this right here. So I saw this one, and I gotta be honest. Sometimes I'll be sitting there, I'll be reading something. I must have giggled to myself for like, I don't know, too long, and I go like, I don't know how this is gonna play on the OTC tonight. Well, let's give it a shot. So there's this tweet by Risk Take says, hashtag cryptos are pricing in a global currency reset, and sheep are still arguing over which NFT they should buy. This response, I just freaking love this response. She says, CRS says, one of my friends who hates on XRP just bragged to me about his $4,500 NFT of a horse. Imagine how hard it was for me not to laugh hysterically at him. I should have got a reward for how straight my face was. I'm sorry, man. I just think that's hilarious. I can just see it's probably like that horse, like a really badly drawn horse. Like, I got an NFT. It's $4,500. Have you ever seen the one for crypto projects? That horse. I'll pull it up. There's a famous illustration of a horse which explains the concept of a crypto project to its fruition, and that's what I'm thinking more or less like one of these poorly drawn horses, and she's like, can you imagine her trying to keep a straight face? And he's like, XRP sucks, but check it out, a $4,500 NFT of a horse. I want to bring her on the show just so we can talk about the freaking NFT.
That's funny.
Oh God, sorry, man.
That's hilarious. And then I'm reading some of the comments on the side. So I said something about the duck planting his eggs, and a citizen said, "I guess these days he can have eggs."
That's
I don't know.
right.
Did I say he? I don't know.
I think you did, Jeff.
I heard rid of the duck as a he. I don't know. So there you go.
So it's all gender neutral. So this right here, I think we have to talk about it. I don't know who talked about it earlier, saying, "Oh, was it Icon of Paul?" said that I'm kind of disappointed. So, once in a while, as much as I love Brad Garlinghouse as the CEO and successful leader of the ship of Ripple, and as much as I love, David Schwartz, sometimes, man, I just go like, what? So David put this tweet out. He says, this is probably going to be my least popular tweet ever, but if you have a life-changing amounts of cryptocurrency, please take some time to seriously consider selling some to reduce your risk and exposure. This is not any kind of prediction about what the market will do. Now, Jeff,
who said that?
David Schwartz said this. That's David Schwartz.
Is that really him? He has the whole.
That's the chief tech officer at Joel Katz. That's him.
Go back. Listen, that again. Is that really him?
It's really him. Look at Joel Katz right there.
All right.
I'm not an expert, but if you spend the equivalent of $70 or $80 million on solar panels for your roof, and you mint an NFT goofing on yourself here's a badly taken photo of the solar panels. I mean, solar panels, Jeff, not the car I dreamt of as a kid that knew one day I would own, not the house and the little shack on the beach that I wanted to have. Solar panels, useless, wasteful, dumb solar panels. You put it on a house. I mean, I'd love to run. You heat your water. It's like you got 4,000 solar panels. What do we do it? I get free hot water. You're like, yeah, it's $70 million of ETH. And I'm like, dude, we can't take advice from him. I love him to death. He's the smartest human probably on the planet. He may even be Satoshi Nakamoto. but I can't go with this, dude. I cannot go with this. And other people chimed in. Kieran Kelly says, I recall very clearly you posted a similar tweet in the early 2018 as a mere days before the whole thing burnt down. The issue us mortals have is we can't see into the future unlike you. And even if you don't know your own powers yet. David, why put your neck on the line like this? Can of worms is your understatement. You didn't even say NFA. Now, I can only imagine your conscience didn't allow you to say nothing. So we're all wondering why. So now everyone's like in this whole quandary about what's going on, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And our pal, Lionel, Dictator Know-It-All, going on your track record of selling too early, selling too early. Of course, he's referring to the whole solar panel thing. And then we've got, there's a whole bunch of replies. But, David, he put something out there, and I'll give him this. He knew it wasn't going to be a popular thing. And yes, he did get some hate. He said, I'm definitely not making future predictions here. I have no particular sense of what the market's going to do. I wish I did. And then it says, I actually thought your advice came from the heart and showed that you care about the well-being livelihoods of XRP holders rather than just the value of XRP. Respect. So everyone sees it a little bit differently. So, no special information, no ulterior motive. I just detest the buying is morally superior to selling nonsense that people use to guilt others into selling so that they can sell. If you're holding cryptocurrencies, what does that mean, Jeff? Can you explain that to me?
Kelly was saying, David was talking about paying off your student loans if you have profit.
That's weird because I didn't see anything about student loans or anything in there about student loans. It says no. So it says no special information or ulterior motive, but I detest the buying is morally superior to selling nonsense that people use to guilt others into not selling so that they can sell. Dude, people guilting each other in that. Do not sell, Jeff. Do not sell. Buy. Don't do it. I have to
people have been buying crypto with credit loans. What else? What could possibly go wrong?
Nothing can go wrong. It's all going to be fine. Everything's perfect. Not a problem. But I have to go with Alex Steve Long's thing. I don't give an F what you do with your money.
That's it. You do what you want.
Did she say go back and he said something about student loans?
It's somewhere in there.
Well, I would have put that in the very first
tweet. You got to read through the whole thing.
It's too much reading, Jeff.
It's a lot.
I just want to read the funny bits.
Focus in on the one thing.
Leonidas said, you could have tweeted this back when Bitcoin made a few all-time highs or ETH. We have been holding for 3 years. We have plenty of time to think of when and how we're going to de-risk. When the CTO of a company tweets this sort of thing, people assume that both he and the company are also de-risking.
That is a good point. Leonidas brings up a really solid point, similar to somebody I remember in the Litecoin, phase when he sold his entire holding of Litecoin, and shortly thereafter it went from $350 all the way down. I mean, the whole market then fell after that, but it all, as people's faith. And now 4 years later, 3-4 years later, we're starting to see Litecoin come back up with the market. But to your point, I mean, if you're going to talk about de-risking, what exactly is he referencing at that point?
Yeah, I thought that was very well said. Leonidas always puts out some very thoughtful tweets. Free American Spirit says, come on, people, there's an SEC trial going on. He's just talking generalities. Rob Lickert says, take profits into what? Taxes are brutal. Yep. Stocks, fiat. Wouldn't a better option to borrow against it, open a CDP or some passive income scheme? So look, there's a lot of thoughtful thoughts here. Stuart XRP says, you have to seriously consider if this technology is going away and if the cryptocurrency you're holding will be obsolete. I don't believe XRP or ADA, which is Cardano, is going to become obsolete. So there is value, and that's why I'll hold as long as I can, taking some profit near the end of the bull run. So yeah, maybe some stuff was missed in there. It's possible, but again, I mean, at least he sticks his head out there. Lionel says, your tweet was definitely had an impact on the price, though. Boom.
Yeah, here's the price. Hang on, right there. Right there.
What do we got, Jeff? Sorry, trying to undo that.
Oh, where'd it go? There you go.
Which one is it? Is it the 2,296?
Oh yeah, there's XRP. Look, it's almost 589. We're almost there.
Yes, we're almost there. Finally.
Oh, wait a minute. That was BNB.
Sorry. Finally, Jeff.
$1.80. Look at that. $1.80. It's up 64%. But you know what I was looking at that's really impressive here is volume. Look at the 24-hour volume right there.
Wow.
And it's blowing away. I mean, it's just crazy. Look at the volume here. across the board.
Wow.
It's nice. And then you get to the next one down. It was really, you go from, you're going down, obviously Tether, but you go to Cardano and look at the difference in the volume.
It's really low.
It's amazing how then it starts dropping. And then you get some Litecoin
even
in there.
Polkadot's small.
Uniswap. Yeah. It's amazing seeing the lower volumes here.
Actually, XLM is higher than a bunch of them, so that's interesting.
Yeah.
Too.
Oh, and that was the other thing. Check out the XLM in the number 10 spot again, hovering at 66 cents. But then this was a little shocking. I was going on here and I'm looking at the Doge. Almost at 10 cents.
That's almost at 10 cents. What?
I mean, that's insane. Oh, it's insane. It's so crazy. So the Doge, and then somebody earlier on brought up the XDC, and let me see if I can pull up XDC here.
Yeah, while you're doing that, it says Apex says my de-risking is all about putting any unused fiat into crypto. I trust my macro research. Right on. Well said.
Here you go. There's your XDC right there.
Holy cow!
It's almost 9 cents.
Yes,
XDC is running. It's going to be at 10 cents pretty soon. Look at it on the Bitcoin, 140 sats.
I love how you interjected in that last article. It said Bitcoin, but you put the before every Bitcoin.
I am doing that now. I'm putting in the Bitcoin in front of everything. Otherwise, it's more exciting that way.
And I'm looking at it, reading. I'm like, does this say the? Does it say, no, it doesn't say the. Just throw the in there. The Bitcoin, like in there. It's the Bitcoin, the king.
XRP speedboat. I made diamonds, hand Michael Jackson gloves for hodling. I made a diamonds hand. Oh, got it. Hey, so check this out, man. No, go ahead. You do that. I got to pull something up while you're talking.
My buddy who finally is like pulling the trigger, like I can't get in fast enough. I can't. And Uphold was having all kinds of issues today. And he's like, yeah, they're having issues. And I was reading Reddit and he goes, I understand what you're saying. He goes, it's all about diamond hands. I'm like, dude, you've been reading up on this stuff. You're getting he's getting the little dialogue in there and the little sayings and everything. He goes, yeah, but it's all I've been doing is studying this. I can't wait to get in. He goes, it's too late. I'm like, too late? If this was a baseball game, we'd be walking down our seats, eating hot dogs, stale popcorn, that stale, nasty Cracker Jack popcorn. Dude, we didn't even have our seats yet. They're out there throwing the ball around a little bit. That's where we are. XRP Supercar. What's up?
Hello to the XRP Army.
XRP Army. Shout out. Look at there's Mito. Mito's in the house. What's up, Mito Nelson? Bye. Thank you, man. Appreciate that.
Mito from Greece.
I don't know where Mito. Where are you from? Drop it in there. Let's see if Jeff is all knowing. If he's all knowing and all. Look at this. I want to say this. So there it is. 181.5. We're heading up. Right, we're trending up again. I really thought we were going to break 2 today.
Just hit 10 cents. That was on behalf of us. We brought Doge to the 10.
Can you believe this? We streamed live when Doge hit 10.
That's it, man. It's awesome. Where's the Doge? Incredible. The Doge, 10 cents on the market cap. Look at this.
Holy cannolis.
Man, this is history in the making right here. And I can't believe I sold my Doge at 5 cents just to get off of Robinhood.
I sold my Doge at 0.006.
I can't believe I sold that at 5 cents. I should have been sitting on twice what I had right now had I kept it on the Robinhoods.
Well, so I guess this story here is David Schwartz, do not sell ever.
Do not sell ever.
When you sell Bitcoin at 300, you're bummed. When somebody at the market in 2017, 2018 on the run up for Bitcoin, and they I'm going to buy it at 19,999. It touched 20 and came down. They were bummed. They thought the world, all they had to do was hang on, and they triple it. They go beyond 3x.
Mito says St. Elizabeth. Where's that?
Oh, nice, man. That's an island off of the coast of the world someplace. I don't know where. St. Elizabeth. You don't recognize the flags. Look that up.
So I wanted to show this to you. I thought this was kind of crazy. I've never clicked on this before. And Bitcoin compared to the largest fiat currencies in the world by market cap. And I opened it up. I'm like, man, who would be number one in market cap in terms of circulating supply? None other than the Chinese yuan in circulating supply. Check out how many yuan they have in circulation. 227 trillion. Am I off in my numbers? Is that more than trillion? That's a million, a
No,
billion.
that's trillion.
That's more than a trillion, no?
It's more than a trillion.
Wait,
so that's 100,000. That's million. That's billion. That's trillion.
this
That's
would be trillion here, right?
That's trillion. No,
Or is
that's
this?
no. The
Oh, that would
second one
be,
is 100
that's a
is
million. Oh, yeah. There's a
hundreds,
billion. So, yeah,
millions,
trillion.
billions, trillions.
Okay. Versus 19 trillion, 19.9, almost 20 for the US dollar. But in terms of market cap, 549 million BTC in market cap versus the US at 315 million in market cap. Now, each yuan is worth 241 sats, the US dollar at 157.8 sats, the euro at 1886, and the pound sterling at 2172, followed only then by the Canadian dollar. But what's interesting is that the South Korean yuan is 1 for 1 for a set. How cool is that? How cool is that to say that the yuan is worth 1 set? It's equal. It's on par. That's pretty interesting.
I'm still trying to figure out where St. Elizabeth is, and I like that flag looks so familiar. Is that? I don't know. Is that?
Man, I'm talking about something critical here, and you're talking about
St. Elizabeth, Jamaica. Is that it? St. Elizabeth, Jamaica. Is that right? It's in Jamaica. That flag looks like a Jamaican flag right there.
I believe that's Jamaica.
Jamaica.
Anyhow.
Good, man. We got to go down to Jamaica and have a little party with Mitho. We'll hang out.
Going to hang out with Mitho in Jamaica. Sweet.
Yeah, man.
I heard getting to Jamaica is pretty easy from Fort Lauderdale.
Oh, that's good. It's good to know.
Yep.
That is very good to know. And what's that Jamaican beer that's pretty good too?
No. Have you looked at Mute?
Mute as in like you're talking too much, or mute as in like
talking too much? Have you clicked your mute button lately? Have you ever considered muting your button when you're on your live stream?
By the way, Oscar wants to do a 5-minute recap of tonight's stream. So a 5-second recap. Cassettes. That's it.
Cassettes.
Well, we did razz David Schwartz a little bit about his. I don't know if you were here for that, Oscar.
Did Oscar just show up? Oh, you missed the whole thing. We got to start over again.
Yeah, let's start over. Red Strike,
65 cents. Red Strike.
Kelly says it right. Yeah, see, Kelly knows. She loves Red Strike.
What is Mute? What the heck is Mute?
Sean knows. He's a Red Strike guy. Why can't I think of that? Mel G knows. Everybody knows.
Red Strike.
Organic FUD knows. Man. By the way, I love those little bottles too, man. Those are like the kind of bottles that remind me of growing up.
Really cool.
I used to drink all that Canadian beer. So I grew up right across the border of Canada.
The Mute volume on the Uniswap here is 136,000.
Say what?
Yeah.
Holy.
Ripple CTO, it's time to seriously consider selling some crypto. It's even on CoinMarketCap.
It's everywhere, man. It's like, I don't know. Maybe he's feeling guilt. I don't know.
You know what he's saying? I mean, the market's going crazy, and he's basically saying, hey, you know what? It's time to take some profit. Because the concern is the other side of the cliff.
XRP
get it,
XRP Panic has this right on. This is the 5-second recap. That's pretty much it.
That's about it. And just as you froze, you're frozen. Now he's gone. That's how we kick him out. So if you guys are brand new to On the Chain, make sure you guys hit that big red button. Says subscribe on it. It'll actually allow you to subscribe to the show. Then if you can hit the bell notifier, you hit the bell notifier, you get notified every time we go live. It helps algorithms, helps the channel. We go hit that thumbs up. We had over 400 people, I think like 440 at max. Hit the thumbs up, show that you guys enjoyed the show tonight. Make sure you guys go check out the merch, because we do have a merch store. You'll be able to find a link on the YouTube channel after this. I'll go in and add it, but you can get cool merch like this. There's other things, and I forget what the merch store link is, but Chip can probably throw that in here in a minute. And then we got Detroit in the house as well. We got Billy Bob from South Detroit, joining us over here. He's right on the Detroit River, which incidentally is actually north. It's actually north. Detroit is actually north of Canada. So that is interesting. And you can go through the tunnel right over into Windsor. And Windsor is a cool little city over there in Canada. But
interesting.
Detroit's pretty cool. You got all these cool little towns over there. Got a like nice downtown happening in Detroit. You go up to Royal Oak, up into Birmingham.
You
all
lost
sorts
my
of cool places.
You lost my I put something up there about someone had posted the price of the fake price of Flare. Who put that up there? Where was that?
The IOU price. The IOU.
Yeah. First of all, let me share this. I want to just before we get out of here because I want to share this thing because Mr. B put this up here. Well, try again.
Oh.
So Mr. B put this up here. Flare. Oh, look at Flare. 185. Listen, people, get off the drugs. There's no such thing. That could be 375. It could be 4,005. It's called fake, phony, false, and speculative. Get off that train.
It's an IOU. Who knows what's going to happen?
Yeah, who knows? Well, I mean, people buy into this hype. It's brilliant marketing by BitTrue and that other exchange, but it is absolutely silliness.
Yep.
According to me anyway, but
that's it, man. So, hey, did you put the link in there for the merch?
No, I didn't because I'll freeze up again because of this, because of the horrible. It's called onthechain.shop. It's pretty simple.
Oh yeah, that's it. It's easy. Onthechain.shop. Onthechain.shop. It's really sweet.
Here we go.
Anyhow, so we do stream. If you guys didn't realize, we stream 6 days a week, Sunday through Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tonight is Tuesday. Tomorrow is Hump Day. Wednesday, more XRP FOMO time at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tomorrow night, only here, exclusively
on
the
chain. Let's do it.
Are you down with OTC? Please like, subscribe, and click the bell to be notified when the next video drops.